Welcome back, Flare community. Today we have yet another installment of Hugo Highlights. For those of you who are unaware, Hugo is the CEO and co-founder of Flare Network. He is a very knowledgeable individual, especially on the topic of Flare Network. So let's start things off with a quick recap. What is the Flare Network?
Perfect. So Flare is the first Turing-complete federated Byzantine agreement network. I'll try and break that down a little bit.
Please.
Turing-complete is smart contracts as you know them from Ethereum. There are different definitions of smart contracts. Ethereum's version allows you to do more or less any arbitrary computation. Other definitions of smart contracts are much more limited. So that's the Turing complete bit. You can program anything within reason. Federated Byzantine agreement is a class of algorithms as to how to come to consensus. Specifically, it's a particular way to deal with something called the Sybil attack, which is where you don't know really who is behind each validator in your network. That's Federated Byzantine agreement. It was pioneered by Stellar, but Stellar's version isn't itself Turing complete, so it can't run Ethereum virtual machine style smart contracts. Before Stellar, Ripple kind of pioneered a forerunner to that.
It's always great to have a recap, I'm sure you will agree. And once more, Hugo further discusses the use cases of Spark. Let's jump back in.
One of the interesting things about having a scalable network, scalable smart contract network that doesn't use stake to secure the network because it is a federated Byzantine agreement, is that you can use that native token for something interesting. And what our aim at Flare is to give the 65% of the value that exists in the public blockchain space that currently cannot access smart contracts a trustless way of doing that. And the trustless element's really important there. There are bridges which use sort of K of N signature schemes. That is essentially a multi-signature account whereby you have N parties and you agree that if K of N approve a transaction, then that transaction is valid. There are various types of bridges that use that kind of scheme. We see those as custodial, except that they tend to be custodial without having registered with any money service company or regulator. So we sort of look askance at those bridges. And then there are wrapped versions issued by custodians. Again, somewhat against the ethos, really, of our industry. And a little bit sort of tentative. What we're trying to do is create a generic protocol that allows the issuance trustlessly of the value from another network onto Flare. We have two key innovations, but the use case is that, and that's enabled through our token and through something we call the stake connector.
In this last segment, Hugo goes on to expand and tells you how you will be able to use the Spark token.
So on Flare, we've announced that we are integrating currently XRP, Litecoin, Doge, and Stellar, XLM. And already on Flare, on the Flare testnet, it's building a DeFi application called Flare Finance. And they are building, like the basis of most DeFi applications, they're building an AMM, an automated market maker with a curve, like pioneered by Uniswap. And so the immediate application would be the market making of what we call F assets, which is F XRP, the Flare representation of XRP, F Doge, FLTC, etc. the market making of those assets against each other, such that people could come to Flare, swap their assets, and then redeem that F asset for the underlying asset on the actual chain. And so that really brings a decentralized DEX to a very large array of networks and ecosystems, and importantly, a user base. So that's what Flare Finance, which is a third-party application, is building on the Flare. Alternatively, another application called Trustline is building a maker style system, such that you could create a collateralized dollar-based, dollar-pegged token, but with assets from chains that simply can't do that today. So XRP, Stellar, etc.
So there we have it, guys. That's another episode of Hugo Highlights. Now, I don't know about you, but I absolutely love listening to Hugo speak about the Flare network. If any more interviews do arise, I will certainly be sure to add them to the series. So there we have it. I hope you're all having a fantastic day as usual, and until next time, I'm out.